up, everybody? Welcome to Hammerdown Motorsports. My name is Steve Fass, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today has been wonderful for weather. I mean, look at the sky. There's not a cloud in the sky. I'm out in a t-shirt, so for November in Pennsylvania, I will take this all day long. So it's been a little while since we've done an update video, so let's head over to the shop and get you guys all caught up. So over here, I got the camper all washed up, ready to go for its new home in the shop as soon as that concrete is ready to hold the weight. Usually got to wait about a month or so until it's at 100%. I'm not sure what they use for any kind of accelerants or anything like that in this concrete in particular. Basically, they poured this when I wasn't home, so I haven't heard from them since they've done the job. So basically, I'm just going from what I find online, and apparently after about 2 weeks, it is at about 70% strength. So I'm probably not going to put anything on the concrete till about 2 to 3 weeks or something like that, and we're just kind of closing in on the 1 week mark. So this gives you any idea. Here's the house, here's the shop. It is a very, very close walk from the house, which is nice because when it's snowy and winter and all that kind of stuff, I don't want to have to drive necessarily. I can just walk through the snow or whatever and get over to the shop, and we can go to work and get all that stuff done. It's not like a big long commute if it's on like the back end of your property or something like that, making it hard to get to. This is pretty much as close and as convenient as I could have it to the house. So yeah, the service truck over here is a little bit muddy because of all the muddy mess that we have over here. We have a big pile of garbage over there because when they build a shop like this, they don't take any of their trash along with them, so you got to deal with that yourself. So some of the materials in here, I think I might be able to repurpose and stuff like that, as far as maybe some of the interior work, or my neighbor might need some of it, all that kind of good stuff. Not a big deal. We will get that all taken care of and get this place looking pristine once again, because as you can see, it is very much a construction zone at this point, and of course it doesn't stop raining. So first up, this is where I had to dig out. It kind of settled a little bit. I did have this all flattened out with the excavator, but this is where I had to dig down. I went down about 30 inches. The frost line here is about 24 inches, so you want to go down a little bit further than that for our water line, which is now roughed in to here. And then I'm going to have to trench all the way from here all the way to the house. And I did get lucky. The basement is not finished on that side, so we can kind of nicely tie into the water system and get our water line to come down over here to the shop. And I'll show you where we got all that figured out on the inside. So as you can see, we do have a lot of mud around here, and I mean, this part here is pretty solid, but right in front of the door is a nice soupy swamp pit because it rained for probably 3 days straight when I came back from Vegas. So it kind of sucked to come home from nice dry desert weather in Vegas. At SEMA show was an awesome time, to rainy, cold Pennsylvania, but it is what we have to deal with, and that's why we have a shop like this. So weather is not going to be an issue, so we get all those projects underway without having to worry about weather and all that kind of stuff that has been plaguing this YouTube channel ever since I ever started it. So, I mean, I didn't build this shop necessarily just for the YouTube channel, but I'm going to be trying to use basically what I do for work, for a living, the mechanic work, my personal projects, all that kind of stuff for the YouTube content as well, so you guys can kind of follow along what I'm doing, and we can show you guys the projects and build some really, really cool stuff and be able to get a lot done because we don't have to worry about the weather standing in our way. So as you can see, we do have all the concrete in. I do have floor drains on these first 2 bays. Everything is nicely graded, so everything will go down into the underground piping and drain away. We do have the one cart, which is pretty well overloaded at this point, that I did have up in the other garage, which has just basic tools and stuff like that that I didn't really need up in that garage because basically all the work is going to be getting done in here. We do have the mini bike out of the race trailer. I got it parked in here because we're going to be tearing this bike completely down, and we're going to be getting rid of this whole brown frame look, and it's going to go all black. We also have some parts from Go Power Sports, which is going to replace this whole chain drive system and go to a torque converter system. They also sent me some new exhaust for it, so we're going to put on a muffler system just to kind of see what the difference between the straight pipe and the muffler is. This is their straight pipe system with the cold air intake, and I purchased all this stuff from them, and then they were nice enough to send me the torque converter, so it has taken a little bit for me to get back to this project. I do apologize to them for that, but we will be getting this thing underway. The shop has taken up a lot of my time, a lot of planning, a lot of things like that, but we're going to get all this stuff done, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So over here we do have the water spigot. This is a freeze-proof spigot I guess if you want to call it that. I mean, I'm sure there's 1,000 names for what these things could be, but basically when you turn off the water, this will drain down below the freeze line, and you're not going to have any water sitting up in the system and burst a pipe and all that stuff that you don't want to have, especially when you don't have heat in the shop just yet. So speaking of heat, I do plan on getting a radiant tube that's going to go in the ceiling, and it's going to be run on propane. It's probably the most inexpensive way to heat the shop, and it's going to have the heat come right down on us on the main work bays, both basically this one, and probably halfway through the middle bay, because this is an 80-foot long shop. We have 5 doors, and that tube is going to be about 40 feet long up on top here. So basically you don't have to have too much for fans. It's just going to kind of radiate down onto the work area and keep you nice and warm on those really cold, freezing winter days when we're out here working in the shop. I did buy a slop sink, just kind of your run-of-the-mill one from Lowe's, and we're going to hook up everything over here. I got my drain ran. This is all down through the concrete. So I had to do a lot of digging very quickly before I left for SEMA, because all this stuff had to be ready for the concrete people when they poured it when I was away. So we got some of the shelving in here. This is just a shelf that I bought so I could kind of keep stuff up off the floor and basically organized, and I just kind of threw everything on here. Nothing is really where it's going to stay, but it is out of the other garage, and I just wanted to kind of get an idea where things are gonna sit. Now I have this workbench that I got from Westy, which is pretty nice because it's nice sturdy metal bench that you can do some welding on and all that kind of good stuff. We do have the welder over here. This is just my little 110 MIG welder, so we can do some light metal work as well. I do have a brand new chop saw, which is gonna add to our arsenal of tools. And over in the shop, that's over here, if you can see through the window, is all the stuff that I've collected over the years. I've got toolboxes, I've got all kinds of shop equipment, grinders and drill press and all that kind of stuff that's going to be coming into this work area and make everything that we need to do possible. It's just getting wiring in here, getting the panel put in. There's just so much work to do when creating a shop like this, but it's very, very exciting to move in. It's almost like moving into a new house. Like you're just very excited to see where all your stuff is going to go. And over the last few years, I've had all my stuff pretty much in storage just because I didn't really have a place to put it. And that shop over there has no power, so there was really no point. I really couldn't take on anything big. So life has been in limbo for a very long time, dealing with family, kids, and all that kind of stuff, getting them over to the point where they're more independent at school and getting to the point where I could start work again, which is going to be an amazing thing for me because I've basically just been working when I can out of the service truck, and now it's time to go back into full swing, pretty much like 50%, and next year when they're in school all the time, it is going to be 100%. So this is all in preparation for that, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So here it is, everybody, the Hammerdown Motorsports shop as it sits today. We have so much more to come for this. I'm going to be insulating it. We're going to be probably building a mezzanine up here, but like I've said before, here is the view of the shop, and this is our shop. This is the channel shop. So you guys, as part of this channel, have some input on what we're gonna do with this. So drop in the comments, what would you like to see in here? I'm gonna give you a little overview of what I plan on having in here for as far as trailers and trucks and cars and all that kind of good stuff. Let me know where we should put the mezzanine. Let me know what kind of stuff that maybe I haven't even thought of. So Bay 5, I'm going to call this Bay 5 over here. This is where the big RV, which is up at the house, is going to go, and it will basically squeeze from wall to wall in here, and we can have that opened up with the slides on the other side and have it plugged in fully functional with the fridge outside and TV and all that kind of good stuff. We don't have to worry about it just being put away for storage. We can use it all year round when it's in here in the shop. Bay number 4 is going to be where the race trailer is going to sit, so I can polish that trailer up really nice and it's not going to get all messed up from being sitting out in the weather with the aluminum roof streaking down the sides, making it look terrible. I can keep it inside nice and clean, and we can start doing a few mods in the interior of that thing, getting all the lighting where we want it. Also, it is only 24 feet long with a little more with the tongue, so we will have a little extra space. I probably will park the Commander possibly here with a snowplow on it, so I can just open the door and go out in the wintertime and get all that cleared out when it starts to snow. Bay number 3, I'm not really going to be using this door necessarily from what my initial plans are. I'm going to drive the cars angle parked in the middle, so I could park possibly my motorcycle, I could park the Camaro, I could park the Porsche, I could park the Dart, and I might even be bringing, like, this has never been on the channel, but I do have a 1957 John Deere 720 diesel with the gas pony engine. It's fully restored, it's a beautiful tractor. I own it with my father-in-law, and he's had it at his shop for about 5 years, and he's run low on space, so I might be bringing that over here and parking it right here, so you could just jump on it and drive out bay number 2 in any one of the vehicles at any time. Because the biggest problem for me with owning multiple vehicles is the fact that you have to jam them into a small garage, and then you've got to try to move stuff to be able to get them out. And it's kind of irritating, because if you want to just go out for a drive, you don't want to have anything standing in your way. You just want to get in, push the start button, turn the key, or the multitudes of things that it takes to start the John Deere, which I will be going through when we get that tractor here. It's actually pretty interesting how that thing works, and it's a really neat part of history. But yeah, I just want to be able to get on them and drive out the door and have a good time with them, which is going to allow us to do so much more content, and I'm very excited for that as well. So bay 2 is going to be where the service truck is going to live. So although there are going to be cars parked here, if I need to just back the service truck out, that's really not a big deal. And generally I would just park that outside if it was muddy or something like that. I didn't want to have it outside in the wintertime, because there is a lot of snow that collects on the back of that truck, and it's a real pain to have to knock that all off before you can drive down the road. Otherwise it's a blizzard behind you, and that's not good for other drivers. So even with that truck parked in here, we will have some extra space for snowmobiles or any of that kind of stuff if we are working on that at that time. Generally, I feel that I'm going to put the snowmobiles and anything smaller and garden related, like yard related, I'm going to keep that up in that shop over there. And I'm going to put shelving in there for additional parts and stuff that I really don't need to have cluttering up the shop at this time. I really would like to have a mezzanine up here with kind of like a living room almost setting in it, where I could put all my car models, have it really nicely finished and professional, not that rustic industrial kind of look, but it's going to look like it's a living room in a house basically, and you just have a stairway that's going to go up. We can go in there and hang out, have some windows out here where you can just kind of admire the cars, and it's kind of an absolute dream shop for me, and I really can't wait to see it kind of materialize. This I did last night. I just got everything out of the other garage just so I could sit in here and kind of imagine what it's going to be like, but it's just one step at a time, and we're going to get there. It's just going to take all the different steps to get in place, be able to make all this happen, but it's going to be absolutely worth it in the end. So it's time to start putting more stuff in the shop. I got to get over there and get all that figured out. I thought I would just drop a quick shop update for you guys. So I hope you guys are as excited about this as I am, because there's big things happening for this channel. We're going to be taking this to the next level and start putting more and more content out there for you guys. So with that said, we're going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed this little update video. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Keep that hammer down.